Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing a 2024 election prediction between former Republican President Donald Trump and New York Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. This is an interesting one because we have Donald Trump, who everyone knows who he is at this point. Everyone has an opinion of him. And we have Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, who a lot of her far left stances make her unpopular, sometimes with her own party, and certainly with Republicans nationwide. So this might be an election that's kind of like the unpopularity of these two may be very, very interesting. But with that said, let's get into the video. We start off with AOC winning the West Coast. She wins the state of Illinois safe. I think she wins all of the East Coast safe except for the state of New Hampshire. New Hampshire, not yet. Maine's 1st district, I think, goes safe. I think New York goes safe. I'm going to give Maine at large to her in the likely column for now. And that gets AOC up to 184. Oh, I did not mean to. Actually, I'll do this now. Trump will win Maine's 2nd district. I didn't mean to give her that. But AOC gets up to 183. And I think that's it for the Democratic states for now. Donald Trump will now win a lot of the Republican states that he won in 2016 and 2020. I think he would win back Nebraska's 2nd district. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if that gets redistricted before the election in 2024. If it does, I think it's certainly going to go red anyway. But I think Trump will win that. I think he'll win Alaska as well. That gets Trump up to 127. AOC is at 183. Now, I think AOC will win the states of Colorado and New Mexico likely. I think that even though AOC would be the nominee, it's still a very, very polarized election where I think she would still do relatively well nationwide. So Virginia would also go likely blue, especially with Donald Trump as the candidate. If another Republican's against AOC, maybe it might be a little more competitive, but since it's Trump, I think those 3 states would be likely. I think the state of Texas would go likely for Donald Trump. He won it by about 6 points in 2020. I think he would win it by probably about 7 or 8 in 2024, given trends, but also given that AOC is the nominee. I think Trump would be able to get Texas in the likely column. I think Donald Trump would win the state of Ohio and Iowa. I'm putting it in likely. It might even be safe, to be completely honest with you. But Trump gets to 190. AOC is at 211. Now this is where it starts to get really interesting to get to the really, really close competitive states. First things first, I think AOC versus Trump. Trump wins the state of Florida. I'm putting it in the lean column. I think Trump wins it against Cherry by about 4%. I mean, Trump won Florida by 3% over Joe Biden. So against AOC, he's definitely going to improve. A lot of the anti-socialist campaign rhetoric will be used heavily in Florida against AOC. Trump wins the state of Florida. I think Trump wins the state of North Carolina as well, getting him to 236. He wins this probably by about 2% or so. Very, very close. But I think North Carolina does go red in this scenario. I think the state of Georgia honestly flips back to Donald Trump in this scenario. AOC is not the type of Democrat who I think would be able to win Georgia. She doesn't really have too much of a, I guess, campaign presence in a state like Georgia, where I don't know if suburban voters would turn out for her. Maybe if she's going against Donald Trump, they might, but I don't think she'd be able to do well in the state of Georgia. I think the state of Minnesota would probably stay in AOC's column by about 2 or 3%. Minnesota's the state that if Republicans want to flip, it's going to take them a long time to do, I feel like. For some reason, Minnesota, it's close, but it never seems to flip to the Republican side, so I think AOC would win this in this scenario. I think the state of New Hampshire, even though AOC might not be the best candidate for the state, might still go instead of Donald Trump. Probably in the tilt column, just because I don't know if Donald Trump's the right Republican to win the state of New Hampshire. The state of Nevada, I would give to Donald Trump, honestly. I think Donald Trump would win the state of Nevada. I think we see the state trending in his direction and the Republicans' direction, so I think he would certainly win that. The state of Arizona is close because Republicans are poised to win this state against Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, no question. However, I don't know if Donald Trump is the best Republican in that endeavor to do so. So I'm also going to give the state to AOC. She's going to win the state of Arizona. I'm very, very back and forth on that one, but I think that Trump would win there. And the last 3 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. I think Trump wins Wisconsin, honestly, by about 3% or so against AOC. I think he wins that state. I think he wins the state of Pennsylvania by about 2%. AOC is not a Rust Belt candidate at all. She'd be a disaster for the Rust Belt in terms of running a Democrat. And then in the state of Michigan, I think it flips for Donald Trump as well. Donald Trump wins all 3 Rust Belt states that he won in 2016. He wins them again in 2024 if AOC is the Democratic nominee. She would not do well in the Rust Belt. However, she would do well enough to hold on to Arizona and New Hampshire. Yet Donald Trump would actually be able to win Nevada and Georgia and Florida and the rest of the Rust Belt as well. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think, what videos you'd like to see in the future. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I really would hope you would take this time to subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow, helps the channel grow. So thank you so much. That'd be awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.